A very good morning once again, one and all. I am Asha from the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, and we are immensely pleased to welcome you all to the 62nd Convocation of the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. We are honored to have with us distinguished dignitaries, respected faculty, proud families, and of course the graduating batch whose achievements we are here to celebrate today. Let us now begin the day's proceedings with an invocation, Tamil Vartha, followed by Vande Mataram. I request you all to please rise up for the same.
I declare the convocation open.
Chief guest, Honorable Shri Adithanar, Kirti Chakra, National Security Advisor. Guest of Honor, Dr. Padma Subramaniam. Chairman Board of Governors, Dr. Pawan Goenka, members of the Board of Governors, members of the Senate, dearest graduates, distinguished invitees and colleagues, and my dearest students. Friends, please join me in welcoming our distinguished chief guest, Shri Dovalji. He needs no introduction, but on a personal note, I consider myself blessed to be associated with him as a member of National Security Advisory Board for close to a decade now. He has been my guru, my mentor, my friend, philosopher and guide. He has taught and continued to teach me from as big as what is patriotism, what it means to really serve Bharat, all the way down to how to make a proposal and how to present one. Many lessons he has taught me. I find it appropriate to mention few of them here. To mention a few, lesson number 1, while writing a proposal, you must understand what the end user wants rather than what you know. Lesson 2, never celebrate inauguration of a project, must celebrate only successful closure. At IITM administration, whenever I get to handle, in my view, a complex scenario, I just think of him, the complex decision he takes, and everything reduces to a trivial or rather embarrassingly trivial matter for me. Thank you, sir, for being such a great mentor. As the Tamil saying goes, "Kattrathu kaimannalavu, kalladhathu ulagalavu." Whatever I have learned is just equal to a handful of sand when compared with what I need to learn, that is equal to the entire universe. I will continue to learn more and more from you, sir. Sir, here are the youth who will be serving our Viksit Bharat at 2047. The Viksit Bharat as envisioned by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. I have no doubt that your address today will remain in their heart and guide them in the remarkable journey through the Amrit Kaal of Bharat. Dear Shri Padma ji, as her name suggests, she is the recipient of all the 3 Padma Awards from the Honorable President of Bharat. You are a representative of the rich culture of Bharat. Your presence this year is apt, as our institute, IIT Madras, is the first of all IITs to have introduced the Fine Arts and Cultural Excellence admission, encouraging children with accolades in the field of fine arts and culture to join our coveted undergraduate BTech programs on campus. Thank you very much, madam. IIT Madras continues to be on the top of the NIRF rankings for over 9 years in a row. We have jumped by 47 ranks to enter the top 200 for the first time in QS World Rankings. The current year, IIT Madras was awarded several other awards, the CII Awards and CNBC TV 18 Awards, to name a few. In this convocation, 3,227 students are receiving the degree. Jai Anusandhan, the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister. For the first time in the history of IIT Madras, we have crossed 500 students being awarded the PhD degree. Congratulations to all the research scholars and their guides. In line with Sustainable Development Goal 4 of the United Nations, to provide accessible, affordable, quality education for all, the multi-entry, multi-exit BS online degree program, web-enabled MTech for industry, and multiple initiatives by the Center for Outreach and Digital Education benefits more than 100,000 candidates every year. We have been involved in several other initiatives for students from towns and villages, including out-of-the-box thinking, finishing school to enhance employability, School Connect program for class 10 to 12 students, STEM program for training government school children of our Tamil Nadu state government in electronics. The Vidya Shakti project started in 2021, involving setting up of rural interaction center to meet the gross enrollment ratio of 50% by 2035, as set by the National Education Policy 2020. It has now reached 4 lakh students across 6 Indian states and Sri Lanka. The first international campus of IIT Madras at Zanzibar, Tanzania, is entering her 3rd year, with multiple courses being offered and increased collaboration with industry. The Airtel Africa Fellowship deserves a special mention here. IITM Global, a unique exploratory initiative of IIT Madras, aspires to position IIT Madras as the world's first multinational university, offering a platform for startups, innovation, research, and international academic and skilling programs. In this financial year, we plan to establish our presence in UAE, USA, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Germany. The 15 centers of excellence funded through the Institute of Eminence funding provided by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, has turned out to be a world-class interdisciplinary groups involved in very high-end research of techno-social economic importance, a prime reason for us to leap into the top 200 band in the world rankings. Through these centers, for the first time in history, IIT Madras is the only institution to have released the data of human brain and Bharat Cancer Genome Atlas in the open domain, providing free access to all. I immensely thank Professor Mohan Shankar and Professor Mahalingam for the same. Improving the diversity in campus and continuing the unique experiment of introducing sports excellence admission in the last academic year for our coveted undergraduate programs, we have introduced the Fine Arts and Cultural Excellence phase and Science Olympiad Excellence scope admissions to encourage students pursuing those pathways. This is in line with the holistic education as promoted by the National Education Policy 2020. Keeping in trend with emerging R&D and industry requirements, IIT Madras has introduced BS in Chemistry, BTech in Computational Engineering and Mechanics, BTech in Instrumentation and Biomedical Engineering, and MTech in Electric Vehicles this academic year. It's not moving. We continue to coordinate the Swayam and Swayam Plus platforms funded by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, reaching millions of students who credit these courses in their academic bank of credit and transfer them into their respective degree programs they are pursuing. Viksit Bharat at 2047 will be a product nation and a startup nation, and IIT Madras is gearing up for this. 457 startups incubated so far, valued over 50,000 crores. Aether Energy, the first to go IPO. I congratulate the entire innovation and entrepreneurship stack of IIT Madras, the ECell, the C5, the Center for Innovation, Nirman, Incubation Cell, Pravartak, Rural Technology-Based Business Incubator, Bio Incubator, the Health Technology Innovation Center, the IIT Madras Research Park, and the Gopalakrishnan Deshpande Center. As a result of very focused hard work in the financial year 24-25, we have incubated 103 startups. The startup Shatam Deen come true. Keeping our IITM for all motto, more than 50% of these are founded by youth outside the IIT Madras system and mentored by IIT Madras faculty. These startups are spread across multiple deep core technology domains, demonstrating the depth of core technology translational research happening in our institute. Several IIT Madras generated technology has been transferred to industry. Here is what that have been transferred in the last 3 years. For the second consecutive financial year, we have achieved the patent a day target by filing 417 of them in the financial year 24-25. The Industrial Consultancy and Sponsored Research Cell has been sanctioned with 302 government agencies sponsored project worth INR 317.99 crores. 982 industry consultancy and sponsors this project worth INR 906.41 crores. The institute hosted the Inventive R&D Fair involving top NIRF ranked higher education institutions in our country, demonstrating 180 plus translational research and product ideas. The Office of Global Engagement has put in their best efforts to increase the number of international students on campus with scholarships and launch multiple joint degree programs. The mobility programs, both inbound and outbound, have seen very steep increase, highlighting our growing international collaboration. The International Immersion Experience Program has enabled several PhD students to understand and experience the state-of-art research happening globally, thus helping them define the research part with more novelty and relevance. With our powerful 65,000 plus alumni network, around 0.5% are recognized as distinguished alumni. I congratulate the 10 distinguished alumni awardees this year and also the 2 distinguished alumni in the making, the Young Alumni Achiever Awards. Hope to see many of you in this list. Please Please join me in congratulating Dr. Pavan Goenka, Chairman of our Board of Governors, for the Padma Shri Award for his yeoman's service to technology and nation. Dr. Seturaman Panchanathan, former Chief of the National Science Foundation, United States of America, and our distinguished alumnus, was also conferred the Padma Shri. 7 of our faculty became fellows of different Indian academies. Professor Bhaskar, Suresh Garimala, and Dr. Somnath became fellows of the National Academy of Engineering, USA. Professor Prabhu Rajagopal and Professor Radhakrishna Kanti were awarded the coveted Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award. Dr. Surendra Singh was awarded the INAE Young Associate Award. On the sports front, the IIT Madras women's team won the Women's General Championship for the second consecutive year in 57th Inter-IIT Sports Meet. IIT Madras secured overall General Championship runner-up. As a special mention, Alfan Krishnan won the beach volleyball gold in Khelo India event and will be representing Bharat in international events. I am very excited to note that it is no more just placement and jobs. It is increasingly more about entrepreneurship and civil services as a career for our students, to an extent that we have renamed our placement cell as Career Pathway Center. More than 200 students participated in a session on demystifying UPSC for Bharat's brightest minds. I am very confident that we will have several of our IITM alumnus in key civil services serving the Vikshit Bharat at 2047. On the infrastructure side, the construction of new academic complex, the state-of-art Sitara indoor sports complex, the administrative and hostel block at our Discovery campus at Tayyur, the renovated Institute Hospital, and the IIT Madras Mastro Ilayaraja Center for Music Learning and Research are either completed or launched during the current financial year. Auroville Foundation and IIT Madras have signed a MOU to set up the Auroville IIT Madras Sustainability Campus in a 100-acre plot at Auroville. The campus will house projects related to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations and a state-of-the-art sustainability incubator. The Hyundai Innovation Center for Green Hydrogen, a support for Bharat's decarbonization and net zero targets of 2070, was launched at our Discovery campus at Tayyur. A 65,000 square feet facility will be constructed through the generous CSR support of rupees 180 crores by Hyundai. To support the IITM incubated startups, we plan to launch a special VC fund of rupees 200 crores in the coming financial year. After successfully demonstrating patented 100 startups a year startup shatam, I have no doubt that by 2032, we will have one IPO every month. All these are preparations for the target. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Pavan Goenka. For one more reason, he is the longest serving chairman of Board of Governors of IIT Madras. Over the last decade plus of your chairmanship, sir, IITM has grown beyond whatever we had imagined. I must place on record your continued support to all our initiatives, and on behalf of faculty, staff and students, thank you very much. I also thank the Board of Governors of IIT Madras, Ministry of Education, Government of India, Government of Tamil Nadu, CSR partners, alumni, industry partners and funding agencies for their support. We are here because of you. Jai Hind.
Padma Subramaniam, esteemed members of Board of Governors, Professor V. Kamakoti, distinguished faculty, proud parents, and dear graduating students. Good morning to you all. It is my honor and when his name was taken by the director shows that he needs no introduction. I've had privilege, not as long as Professor Kamakoti, but for last 3 years of working with him in my current capacity as chairman in his space. What I can say, he is an unassuming person, but always on top of any issue that we are discussing. Just coincidentally, when I was coming in here last night in the flight, I saw a small article on him, a very interesting article, that described him as a person who is very analytical, very pragmatic, not emotional, but sensitive, a hardcore Indian by heart, mind, and soul. I couldn't agree more. We're deeply honored to have you here today, sir. And I'm sure it will be a treat for all of us to listen to you. It is an honor for us to have Dr. Padma Subramaniam. As the director mentioned, she is one of the very few persons to have received 3 Padma Awards. Highly acclaimed dancer, research scholar, choreographer, teacher, singer, music composer, author, and Indiologist. So we are in for a double treat today. As the director said that this is my 12th convocation. I don't think anybody has been on this, this forum more than I have been, longer than I have been. Usually I give a longest speech, but today, since we have a double treat coming to us, I'll keep my speech very short. First, I want to congratulate the director, faculty, staff, and the students of IIT Madras for continuing to be on top of the NIRF ranking, 9th year in a row, and for breaking the 200 mark in the QS ranking on our way to the target of breaking the 100 mark. And I want to congratulate you, the graduating class of 2025. Today marks the culmination of years of hard work, perseverance, and growth. I share in your joy and pride, as sometimes, long time ago, 50 years ago, I was where you are, though from a different IIT. On the brink of a journey filled with uncertainty, but promise. I feel both nostalgic and excited. Today I want to speak to you as a fellow engineer, one who has walked a long road, sometimes confidently, sometimes unsure, but always willing to learn and improve. I'd like to share a few life lessons that have stayed with me. These may not be in any textbooks, but they have been powerful signposts in my own journey. First, I believe you must follow your heart. Let me begin with a story, one that shaped the trajectory of my life. In the early 90s, I, along with my family, were well settled in the USA, working in the auto industry. Life was comfortable. We left behind certainty, comfort, and a familiar system to return to an India where building a global product from scratch was still a dream. No spreadsheet would have justified the decision. No logic would have said that's the right decision. But a heart said, yes, let's do it. So we did. And that move of heart put me at the center of the Scorpio development that changed the automotive engineering in India, only because I listened to my heart. So my friends, we engineers are trained to think logically, to run models, assess risks, optimize solutions, but not every decision in life can be justified with logic. If there is one thing I have learned, it's that when your heart says something, don't ignore it, because often, not always, but often, your heart sees something that your head does not. Lesson number 2, you're never too old to start learning. Let me fast forward to 2022, when I was offered the current role as chairman of InSpace. I had spent decades in automotive industry, but when the opportunity came to help shape India's private space ecosystem, I said yes. Not because I was ready for it, not because I was confident that I can do it, but because I believed in what impact it could have. At the age of 67, I was back in learning mode, studying orbital mechanics, reviewing launch architecture, engaging with young founders, younger than my kids, and in them, just like in you, I see what India was becoming: bold, brilliant, and hungry to lead. And you know what? I loved it. I rediscovered the joy of learning, of not knowing and slowly figuring it out. These 3.5 years have been amongst the most enjoyable and fulfilling part of my 45-year career. So never stop learning. We often think of education as something that happens in our 20s. But in truth, the most interesting lives are those where you stay a student always. So if there's one thing I'd urge you never to outgrow, is your curiosity. Stay teachable, stay interested. That's how you stay relevant and, more importantly, fulfilled. The third lesson I offered you today is that path of excellence is rarely easy, but always worth it. If you ever find yourself doubting your place, remember, we all start somewhere. What matters is whether you keep going. Today I see in you the same spark, the capacity to adopt, the resilience to overcome, and the brilliance to create. And that brings me to the larger story, the story of India in 2047, as Professor Kamakoti talked about. Our Honorable Prime Minister has outlined a bold vision, that of a Viksit Bharat, a fully developed India by the time we celebrate 100 years of independence, a $32 trillion economy, a nation where opportunity is equitable, innovation is native, and growth is sustainable. A nation that leads the world not just in size, but in substance. But let's be clear, Viksit Bharat is not just going to happen by itself. It will require tremendous effort from all Indians. It is not a Prime Minister's dream. It's a generational responsibility, and it belongs to you, the class of 2025. You will be at the peak of your careers in 2047. It is you who will build the infrastructure, design the technologies, write the policies, and lead the institutions that shape the India of the future. You are not just graduating today. You are the architects, builders, visionaries, and dreamers. And this nation is the canvas awaiting your imagination. Whether you choose to become a researcher, an entrepreneur, corporate leader, public service, or academia, ask yourself, how can I help more? How can I help move India forward? Not just in GDP, but in dignity, access, equity, and excellence. I will close with a thought. You have been given an extraordinary education at IIT Madras, one of the finest institutions in the world. But what you do with it will define your legacy. So God bless. Jai Hind.
Good morning, everyone. It is indeed a great privilege to have amongst us Dr. Padma Subramaniam as the guest of honor for the 62nd Convocation of IIT Madras. She needs no introduction, especially in the world of Indian arts and culture, yet it is my proud duty to present to this young graduating batch one of India's most revered cultural icons, Dr. Padma Subramaniam. A legendary Bharatanatyam exponent and scholar, she has dedicated her life to preserving and promoting India's rich artistic and spiritual heritage, and her legacy will continue to inspire generations. Dr. Padma Subramaniam is an internationally acclaimed Bharatanatyam dancer, choreographer, composer, researcher, teacher, and author. Much like the multidisciplinary spirit of IIT Madras, she seamlessly blends art, scholarship, and innovation. As a revered Indic scholar, her work bridges ancient tradition with modern interpretation, a pursuit of depth and excellence that resonates deeply with our faculty, students, and researchers. At present, she serves as the president of Nityodaya, a cultural institution founded by her father in 1942. She is also the founder and managing trustee of the Bharat Ilango Foundation of Asian Culture, and a trustee of the Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, New Delhi. Dr. Padma Subramaniam is a true innovator in Indian classical dance. Through her pioneering research, she revived the ancient Marga tradition and created Bharata Nrityam, an original dance from that seamlessly blends tradition and innovation. Reflecting the same creative spirit, we endeavor to nurture in young students at IIT Madras. Her unwavering devotion to Bharatiya Samskriti, inspired by the blessings of Kanchi Paramacharya, His Holiness Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamigal, has shaped our life's mission. Much like the scholar innovatives of